reception sucked, and the way they do it, it's more in like confined bays, and it's all in like one little small area here, at least from what I've experienced, and it's just annoying. You stand in formation for way too long, and it's not even just, oh, I don't want to stand in formation. It's everything's just so unorganized here. You'll see like their rosters, all the things they're calling out. You'll sit there, and while the drill sergeants are to the side trying to figure out things like, oh, this is wrong, like dealing with shit while you're just sitting there doing nothing. And I get it, trust me. Like, I've went through 10 years ago. It's crazy to say that, but it was so much more organized when I went through before. Like, you would stand out there for 30 minutes at a time, but it was solely because they're training you to get used to that, not because they're messing up. So yeah, I mean, reception is what it is. So just to skip through that, getting on to day 0 when you ship off the basic training, it was a Thursday, I think, and it was about halfway through the day, about 2 o'clock. We sat there all day in reception. Kind of the same thing, going through rosters, figuring out what groups are going, kind of on the fly. And then your drill sergeant showed up, well, ours showed up, and you could see a few of them like waiting for the pickup. And before, mind you, in 2014, I didn't know what to expect, so I just took it on the chin. And when I got off that bus, it was all hell. It was a full shark attack. I'm sure everyone knows and heard what a shark attack was, but full screaming, full smoking for like 3 hours straight, making you hold your bags up over your head to where I almost broke my wrist, screaming at you, making just random animal noises, like you name it, they were doing it in 2014 when they had official shark attack. But now they can't do it. They call it the first mile. I believe that's what they call it. And so it wasn't too bad. So when we first arrived there, well, we got on the bus, they were just like, put your head down, put in your bag, and be quiet. So put my head down. And then when we pull up, it's, kind of the same in terms of get off the bus and just start screaming. And it's just kind of chaotic. But really all we did was run over to our CTA area, which is this the area where you kind of stand under the main building where you usually form up every day in your platoons, first platoon, second, third, and fourth platoon, kind of get us in some spots. And they kind of yell at us a little bit, but it was like 5 minutes of yelling, and it wasn't even bad yelling. And after that, they're just like, form up in the pit, which is just this thing in the middle that has like rubber chips in the, as like the surface. And we just formed up there, kind of chewing us out a little bit, but they made us dump all our bags and do a shakedown, which also you do that in reception, as you may know. But I won't get into that. Look, this is so yeah, they form you up in the pit and you start doing a shakedown. Not so much a shakedown, but making sure you got all your gear. And they go through each item, literally pull your clothes out or whatever it is, and hold up the item and make sure you have it. If you don't, you run over to them, as they call you a dumbass because you don't have it, and you tell them I don't have this, so that when we get issue more gear in basic training, you can let them know that. But it's kind of stressful at first because you pack your stuff so crazy in reception in your duffel bags, and you pack it all neat and tight, and then you just dump that shit out. So you're thinking, yo, when I pack this, it's gonna be a mess. But for some reason, the way they tell you to pack it, it's not too bad. And it really wasn't too bad packing up. But you go through all that. That took like an hour. And then all they did was just line us up at our bays, and in lines of what bay we're going in. So I was in Charlie 334, so 334 Infantry Battalion. Basically, there was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th platoon had their own bays. So like, there was a whole bay for 2nd platoon males, whole bay for 3rd, whole bay for 4th, but there wasn't one for 1st. And I think they cycle through, as in the next cycle, like 1st platoon gets their own bay, and there's usually an odd platoon out to where that platoon that don't have their own bay, they split up in sections and go into like 2nd platoon's bay, and 3rd and 4th. So I was in 2nd platoon's bay. Here's our bay. Here's the door. All the way down here. This is my first one. This is my bed. As first platoon, there was like 14 of us in there, and probably like 40, 40 or about like 40 second platoon people in the bay also. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic because you're with your first platoon guys and their second platoon, and throughout the cycle there's rivalries and there's different things that kind of make you clash, but then you become friends with everyone in the bay. But yeah, I mean, so we did that, we went in the room, and then ever since then, basic training starts. That first night, almost every time, even in 2014, the next morning they were like, oh yeah, your bedtime, go to bed and wake up tomorrow is like 6 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, oh, that's not bad. But I expected it because I already kind of do this. But come in 3:30 in the morning, 3 lights on, full blast, get the and all this and that, and just throwing stuff, throwing trash cans, freaking just, whatever you name it, just get us off the bed and smoke us. Like in the bay, when they smoke us too, it's like I mean, it's pretty intense sometimes, but they'll make us push-ups and sit-ups and V-ups and everything like that. But they'll occasionally make you bear crawl around the whole bay, low crawl, and there's actually this commander's like check where they inspect you and everything, and we messed up. So afterwards they smoked us, and everyone was in the front leaning rest, the push-up position, and we had to low crawl under them, and each person had to go, and as each person went and got back in line after low crawling under everybody, they had to go back in the front leaning rest while everyone else, the next guy, went under. I was probably one of the worst smoking sessions. I probably lost like 2 pounds of sweat, and it was intense. But like that's kind of how it was there. Like there would be a few sessions where we absolutely get dogged, but then most of the time it wasn't shit. Like the push-ups they do like 10 push-ups, maybe 20 at the most, and that's it when you would mess up. So at Fort Benning, we would just move or itch or blink, freaking move our head just a little bit or anything like that in formation, and we would get smoked for 30 minutes as a whole platoon or whatever for just moving in formation or doing something wrong. And that's really the big difference here is they don't set the tone initially. So people really don't have that discipline and don't know what to expect, and don't have that tone set to where they're thinking, okay, it's just going to be 10 push-ups or it's just going to be this, so whatever. So you always have them few people that constantly do wrong and constantly don't care about the repercussions of what the platoon gets, because they're like, I ain't going to get singled out. They'll just smoke the whole platoon briefly and that's it. And that's really what would happen. And then eventually they would ask for feedback. We'd be complaining like, hey, is there individual punishment and blah 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 once white phase comes. So that's kind of what you deal with throughout the whole cycle, is that kind of dynamic. But as far as basic training, there's a yellow phase where it's for 2 weeks, and they kind of supposed to teach you the basics and get you instilled, get your gear. Also before, AIT used to be just cadre, just sergeants and instructors. Now they have drill sergeants in AIT, because I think it's just to bring the discipline back. And the AITs is more difficult than before in terms of what we do. We're going to a CTE, a in the field exercise. We've already done 3 ruck marches here, and I'm a 42 Alpha human resources specialist. So I'm pretty much on a computer for the most part, and we're doing all that. So it's pretty intense, but I like it though. It keeps you kind of fit and stuff as far as AIT. But yeah, as far as basic training, there's that yellow phase, and then it goes in the red phase, and everyone's heard of red phase, where it's just that's when they really lay into you and start frying you up for things, really teaching you them basics. And that's when you're supposed to take your first ACFT. You're supposed to do pretty much all the basic training things, but you're supposed to throw grenades, which we did not throw grenades during red phase. They're teaching you how to do inspections and make your bed, and just kind of the standard of everything while they're still smoking you, while they're still doing things. And red phase is full of classroom. That is one of the number one things, especially at Fort Jackson. Our classroom was also in the Same building, so it wasn't a short walk. When I was at Fort Benning, we had to march over to the big classroom building, but yeah, it was literally in the same building. But the classroom stuff is, you'll be falling asleep all the time. Just stand up if you fall asleep. But it sucks. But at the same time, sometimes it's nice when they say meet me in the classroom, because you know, okay, we ain't gonna be outside. And that's where they teach you they go through all the sharp briefings, all this, all that, and then any other instruction you get, like when they teach you land nav and they teach you, like rifle marksmanship basics and all the little instructional things, they'll go to the classroom. And we were in the classroom this time way more than I was last time. It was more hands-on last time. So that's kind of a difference too. And then as red phase starts to close, they'll start to incorporate like rifle marksmanship, and that's when that's all you do. They teach you the basics and how to take apart a weapon. You're gonna get your weapon, take it apart, clean it, blah blah blah, and you're gonna be on that weapon all the time and have it a lot of the time. Not as much as we did back then. We slept with it, had it by our bed, but now you just get them every day. And that's what I mean. It takes like 2 hours just to get weapons every day in the morning, when there could just be a faster way to do it. I don't know. It's just, we all just stand there waiting for everything. And I get it, that's hurry up and wait, but there's a difference. It's very unorganized. But yeah, rifle marksmanship, that's all you do. You go to the range, and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. But at least at Fort Jackson, everything's as a company. Like, there was no platoon stuff where, hey, first and second platoon's going this day, third and fourth will go the next day, to make it more efficient and more people can shoot. No, it's the whole company goes all the time now. And yeah, you just shoot, and you'll do like different ranges. There's a Loma range where you shoot at a 300-meter target consistently, and this electronic thing shows you where you're hitting it. That's not the I forget what it's called, ETS or something, where it's like a full electronic simulator, teaching you basics and things indoors. That's not that, and that's useless. People will shoot a 0 and do good, or they'll shoot a 10 out of 10 on that and they'll do bad. So that thing is stupid. But yeah, so when you qualify iron sights, and it kind of sucks because I qualified the first time and I got like a 28 or something. Yeah, it was like 28 or 29. And there's people that didn't qualify. They had literally went up 30 times. Literally, they 25 to 30 times, and on that 30th time they got sharpshooter or something. And I'm like, that's kind of stupid, because we only got to shoot once. And I feel like I would have easily did better, because my last magazine, there were still rounds in it because it jammed. And I could have got sharpshooter. Because you usually get 3 times, and that's what it was for me before. We all shot 3 times no matter what. And it's kind of those things where you'll see the drill sergeants will kind of on the fly decide to do something and be like, screw it, like, you go sit over there because you're already done, and you didn't get the full experience, while all these people that didn't get to qualify or do things sit on the side. So also during kind of the backtrack red phase, you do Victory Tower and you repel. You do like the obstacle course, the Fit to Win, that was really fun. I actually was the one to win it for us, and we got our streamer for our guide on, and it's very grueling. But yeah, I was coming down the final stretch on that, feeling like I was gonna die, but like in a tired way. It was really fun though. But yeah, white phase is full rifle marksmanship. That's all it is. It's all it is. And yeah, once you qualify iron sights, you move on to red dot sights. And I've never shot red dots, but it's a lot easier. I literally got 38 out of 40 on my red dot qualification. But if you did not qualify for iron sights, you stay to iron sights and you qualify on iron sights while we're doing the red dot. And just to make sure you guys get it, the people that failed. So yeah, that's that. That's pretty much white phase, dude. White phase is the full thing. And there's, the first one is the hammer, second one's the anvil, and the last one's the forge. And the hammer is like 1 day. You only stay 1 night, which was, in a weird way, that was the roughest. I don't know why. And we rucked, 5 miles? and you stay in the field for a night, simulate battle scenarios and stuff, dig your foxhole. And the second one is the anvil, and that was 2 nights and 3 days, and then the forge was 3 nights, 4 days. And then you do a 12-mile ruck march back, so it's 5, 9, and 12 for us. And it's tough. The ruck march is tough for a lot of people, but I was the PG during the last ruck march, the forge, and during the whole forge. And I don't know, I thrived through it, and I was pulling people along, towing people for a couple miles. Got some compliments by the first sergeant. Like it was I didn't mind it at all. But those are kind of the things that I can do well. And I do have weaknesses too. I'm not perfect, but that really wasn't too bad. But yeah, after white phase is blue phase, and that's where they're really supposed to lay off of you. You do your last ACFT. That's when we did grenades and a couple other things, like buddy team live fire. We did that at the beginning of blue phase. And then that's kind of the thing too, is like it's at the discretion of the commander in the company when you do things sometimes, and like the timing of things and when you do it. And it was, I don't know, this time it was just unorganized. At Benning, it went as planned, as we planned on doing it. We did everything. Like here, we didn't even do combatives. We didn't do convoy operations. We didn't do a few things that we were supposed to do, basically. But hey, it's whatever, man. I still got the experience, still got the same out of it for the most part, but it kind of just leaves a little different taste in your mouth after, though, like, because I didn't get that full experience that I got last time. And even people that it was their first experience said the same thing. But usually they got more out of it in terms of, like, it was more of a shock to them than me. But even they were like, man, like, that could have been a lot tougher. And, like, one of my feedbacks was make it tougher, because, like, it really wasn't bad. Like, we barely got smoked. We barely, like, they lightened up so much at the end, and it was just so informal and unorganized. That's kind of my one thing. I don't know if I'm missing too much. Like I said, I ain't gonna make this an hour video and go through every detail, but always feel free to hit me up too, if anything. But like, I'm looking at this list, and we didn't do a lot of these things, but yeah, the ACFT is definitely different now than it used to be when I was there. You used to just do sit-ups, push-ups, and a 2-mile run. Now it's, you know, multiple events. And my score here in AIT was 562 out of 600. And yeah, I pretty much maxed everything besides the push-ups and the plank. But I'm really trying to max that. And yeah, it's tough because, at least for us, at Charlie Company, we didn't warm up for the ACFT, and they really don't warm up. You do the prep drill, which is an absolute joke. It's like a series of like stretches kind of thing from the 80s that they never change. They add in a couple things, but it's not a legit warm up. It don't warm your body up. There's no active dynamic stretching or drills. It sucks. And that's one of my biggest things about the Army as a whole, is their whole physical fitness aspect needs to just change. So like, it's like 3 in the morning where you do the test. You don't warm up. If you go at a certain time, the weights are cold for the deadlift. You just feel like crap, and you're expected to perform. So if it was warmer and such, you'd probably do better. Like here we did it early, but it was warmer by the time, you know, we did it, because it's June now here in South Carolina, and it's hot. It's right now in June, it's always 90 degrees. Every single day is a heat cat 3 or above. It's actually insane. And it's going to get hotter, and it's going to be over 100, and I'm glad I won't be here. I graduate July 2nd. It's been pretty chill here. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a 42 Alpha. It's pretty easy, honestly, the training and everything. We don't have no homework or nothing, but yeah, this is a basic training video. As far as that, the blue phase, you do the forge, and then after the forge, like I said, you do your last ACFT, you do a few things. You do your end of cycle testing, which is, they say it's serious, but it's not. It's kind of a joke. It don't really count. And yeah, at the end, you do the forge, and once you come back from the forge, that's like you're supposed to be a soldier. They have the soldier ceremony when you get back, and they give you your little U.S. Army little patch with a star on it, and they're supposed to call you a soldier or whatever, and you get your victory breakfast, which is like the captain and everyone just serves you eggs and shit, and just gives you some rough steak on it, like on the tray. So don't expect nothing with that. But it's cool, you know, it's rewarding. Like, okay, you know, we did it. You know, we finally did it and whatnot. And they're supposed to lay off you, but they didn't lay off us, man. They were almost treating us worse, almost like, you guys think you're soldiers now and nothing changed. You guys ain't shit. Like, it's more they talk disrespectful to you than actually yell at you for productive reasons. Now it's weird. I don't know, but it's just the batch of people you get. You know, you can get mean people, you can get nasty drill sergeants, you're gonna get nice ones, you're gonna get chill ones that relate to you or let you talk informally, like a couple did for me, and then ones that are so stiff that won't let you do anything without doing, you know, certain things. But yeah, and then it's literally a week or two later is graduation, and you're prepping for that, and you get your dress uniforms, make sure they fit, and it's graduation, and you're cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. Graduation's cool, you know, because you get the family day and then graduation the next day. But it's all fun, and then you sit there forever until you get shipped out. But I'll explain that in my AIT video. But I'm sure I left out some things. This video's been long overdue, but yeah, I appreciate y'all, and please in the comments tell me if you graduated basic training. Tell me your experience. Really comment anything you want. I will respond to every single comment, and I appreciate the love. I will be coming with more videos. I know I said that on my previous ones, but I will, because I got news, I got other things I want to talk about. So I appreciate y'all. See ya.